Ladies and gentlemen, hello, and welcome to a very special episode of Sherm in the Booth. My name is Sherm. You guys are some true Chicagoans for coming out in January. It's snowing outside, it's freezing, and you're at the fucking club at 1 a.m.
Boys with the bass, yeah, boys, bass.
Who am I talking to right now? You're famous.
Free food, free drinks, music, girls. Let's go.
Do you like it? Cool. You don't? Goodbye.
I'm missing the most important part.
Boys with the bass, yeah.
We should throw like a crazy bar mitzvah party.
This is crazy. Send me stems. I finished it.
What's up, guys? How's everyone doing?
Just wait, you know it kicks in like 3 to 5 seconds afterward.
Yo, what is up, everyone, and welcome back to another brand new episode of Sherm in the Booth. I'm, of course, your host, Sherm, and I cannot begin to tell you guys how excited I am about today's episode. This is a 2-part episode that was recorded live at my favorite restaurant in Chicago called The Dearborn. Now, how these interviews came to be is truly special, and it couldn't be more midwestern. Part 1 features Jen White, a Chicago social media celebrity who's been killing it on TikTok over the past few years. Jen is an authentic and unique content creator who showcases some of Chicago's best restaurants, venues, and bars, along with an in-depth and real look into her 40-something life. I met Jen on a whim at a restaurant this summer, and we hit it off right away. I loved her energy, and we got to talking about our favorite restaurants in Chicago, and of course, the Dearborn came up. We both freaked out and started talking about how much we love the general manager, Greg Samuels, and said we've got to have dinner there with him and record a podcast. Well, I'm happy to say we made it happen, and I was able to sit down and get Jen's full story along with Greg's. Part 1 is a one-on-one with Jen, and we had so much fun getting her full story. This is the first official podcast she ever did, so we just kept it natural and the conversation was flowing just like the first night I met her. Make sure to check out Part 2 so you can hear us living it up and talking about everything Chicago with Greg. It was so much fun. But first, let's get into it right now and get Jen's full story. This is episode 214, Part 1 with Jen White. Jen White.
Hi.
Matt Sherman, first podcast interview.
First one ever.
Are you ready?
I am ready.
Let's get into this.
I'm nervous, but not like,
We're literally chilling at the corner of the Dearborn, so no pressure here.
And we have old fashions coming.
Yeah,
early.
we got old fashions on the way. It's a Monday night in Chicago.
Yeah.
All the more reason to drink.
Yeah, of course. Duh. Story of my life lately.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Listen, it means so much for you to be on Sherm in the Booth right now. A lot of the listeners are used to more music industry focus, but what I'm doing is going outside the box and interviewing people that I love at places that I love, and you are the perfect fit for this.
Well, I'm really honored, seriously. It was, like I said, it's my first podcast, and I'm really excited.
Yeah, well, I remember when we met randomly through our mutual friend Brandon at Bar Sienna, right?
Yeah.
I was sitting there with my wife, and you said hi to him or something? And
I was coming off a bad date.
Yes,
And
that's what it was.
I texted one of my girlfriends, I'm like, I need to meet you for a drink. And she was like, all right, well, Brandon's going to be at Bar Sienna. I'm like, perfect. She's like, but I won't be there for a while. I'm like, fine, whatever. So I went up to go say hi to him, and he's like, oh, you need to meet my friend.
Hell yeah.
And then we immediately just started.
I vibed with you so hard.
So hard.
So hard. I was just
immediately.
And I was just in total chill mode, and I was just like, what's up? What's your name? And you were like, I just got off a bad day. I'm like, oof. My wife was like, ooh, juicy.
We're in this
yeah,
now,
yeah.
Tell me everything about it. Yeah. Yeah. That's one way to meet new friends.
That's true. It's a natural thing that we can all relate to.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's been a hell of a summer.
Mm-hmm.
Finally the fall.
No. Although I'm still trying to hold on to summer with my outfit here, but
Yeah, same.
Well, it's gonna be in the 80s tomorrow.
That's a beautiful week.
Yeah.
Labor Day weekend was so nice, and I'm not used to that.
No.
And I was playing at North Coast, and I was sweating so much.
Oh my god.
But I'm not gonna complain.
No. I do love fall. Fall is my favorite season.
That's one of my questions later. Excellent.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
That's okay. That's what happens in podcasts. You answer questions that I'm actually about to ask.
Okay, perfect. I'm not psychic. I'm
I'm a fall guy too.
Yeah.
What's your perfect outfit in Chicago?
perfect outfit.
Yeah.
It is sweater, boots, like over the knee boots, and
Over-the-knee
like where I don't have to wear a coat.
Yes.
Like I love the fall when it's like just crisp enough where you can wear like a cute sweater, jeans, boots.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's my look. I mean, my wardrobe is ready for this weather. Like I am so ready for it. Oh my god.
What about gloves? No gloves yet then, right?
No gloves. No, not till it's like a 30
Yeah, once the gloves go on, they don't come off for a long time.
I know, and I feel like, as I'm getting older, I'm like, I should probably put gloves on so my hands don't get dry from like the cold weather. Because then you have like, just like.
Is that like a female thing? Because like I know
Maybe.
so many women that like don't wear gloves and they like just put them in their
Yeah, we
pockets
don't like
every
it.
time.
Well, and also like, they say the touchscreen gloves work, but
They don't
not all
work.
of them work.
That's a lie.
It's a lie. There are very few. I think I have like a pair from Costco that actually work. I'm like, I don't care what they look like, they actually work.
Oh.
Only when it's really cold out. But yeah, I think it is a thing. Unless I had some like really like amazing like gloves. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm the same way. Fall is the best time of the year in Chicago. I grew up in Indiana, so and you're from Chicago, right?
I'm born and raised, yeah.
Born and raised
like
Chicago.
not the
Chicago.
suburbs.
Not the
Chicago.
suburbs.
Yeah.
And TikTok's gonna go crazy over
Oh,
that one.
yeah.
They're gonna ask to see your birth certificate probably.
I feel like I've had to like show like driver's license, like to be like, I swear to you, I've always lived in the city of Chicago.
Dude,
Like always.
when I came here and people were talking about like, 'cause I went to IU and there's a lot of people that are from the burbs that go to
Yeah.
IU, and they would say they're from Chicago. And I was like, oh, cool. And then when I came to Chicago, they'd be like, I actually live in Naperville, or I actually live
Which
in
is so
Aurora.
far away.
It is literally an hour away.
Yeah. It's like a mini Chicago. They have a lot of our restaurants. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, it's great. It's a cute little downtown
I
area.
have nothing against it.
But it's not Chicago.
You do need clarification.
You did.
Because you were born and raised in the city, you're built different.
You are built different. I grew up on the outskirts. So my dad worked for the city of Chicago, and
Okay.
you have to live within the city limits. So we lived like on the north side where
Nice.
it was all cops, firemen, and city workers.
Classic.
And then like the street over is the suburbs. But
Still
technically,
counts.
it still counts. Yes.
Well, if your dad worked for the city, then
Yeah.
you're definitely a city girl.
I'm the city.
Did you have siblings, don't you?
I do. Yeah, I have a brother who's 2 years younger than me, and a
2 years
sister
younger?
who's 9 years younger than me.
Didn't she just get married?
She's about to in a couple weeks. Oh my god, great memory. Yeah.
What can
Yeah.
I say?
I mean,
That's awesome.
yeah, so.
Congratulations
yeah.
to her.
Thanks. Yeah, it's really exciting. And she lives up in Wayne Park. My brother's on the burbs. And yeah.
You're a true Chicago family.
True.
I saw that TikTok of your dad doing
Oh my God.
just different accents.
Okay.
Who's thick? Hello. Oh.
Look, the sheriff wants to step in. It's like the kid.
Oh.
No,
for
I
alcohol,
mean-
step in, please.
Please. Yeah, do
Thank
not
you.
wait.
What's your
Thank
name?
Monet.
Monet? Cheers to Monet.
Cheers.
Anytime, so I have nothing to cheers with the for air.
Keep them coming. Watch your step. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mm. God damn.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
And it's okay if Greg gets mad, but where's the best old fashioned in
Oh
Chicago?
god, that's so tough.
It really is.
This is okay. So lately,
Yeah.
have you been to Trivoli?
Of course.
Okay.
Best happy hour in Chicago.
Yep. Okay, and
Without a
I
doubt.
feel like, okay, this might sound like a little like egotistical, but I was the first person to post about it.
You were, weren't
So
you?
like over a year ago.
Yeah.
And it went crazy, and then I blamed myself that I couldn't get in. Like, yeah, I couldn't like sit down, and I was like, oh my god. The person who told me about it was Terry, the girl who came and met us the first night we met.
Yeah.
And she's like, we gotta go, but it's only 1 hour.
Yep.
So you gotta have a strategy. Like,
Yeah.
you gotta be there like 4:25.
Yes, you do.
And you gotta like haul ass to the bar.
Is it 4:30 to 5:30?
That's it.
Every day, right?
Monday through Sunday.
And the oysters are $1, right?
Yes. They change up the happy hour menu. I think
Oh,
the oysters
okay.
are still on there.
Yeah.
They switch it out. Like, they used to have like coconut shrimp, but now.
Oh, yeah.
But here's the thing: pounding old fashions from 4:30 to 5:30 is not always the smartest idea.
No,
You really
no.
should order some of the food.
It's one of those where you get it and you go, I'll take another.
Yeah, I love. So I am partial to West Loop just because I live there. But I mean, obviously this is delicious. But
It's a great old
Trivoli and then Swift and Sons has a really good one too.
God, we are the same person.
Well, and we're gonna be neighbors soon. So
Yes.
yeah, we could just do reviews forever.
Should
yeah.
me and my wife go on a date with you and some random guy?
I have a Hinge date tomorrow. I don't think it's gonna go well, but it's fun.
You gotta go with an open mind, though, right?
I know it's hard. I finally put myself back out there on the dating apps.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, I'll go.
Well, I remember when I met you, you were telling me about
Yeah.
the date experience. And you're like, I just had a bad one, and that's not the only one.
Oh, they're all bad.
What's it really like out there? Give me the
Um,
brutal truth.
So here's the thing. I haven't gone on a date in months.
Okay.
Like, because I was just like over it.
Yeah.
It's just, okay, so I have this theory
Yeah.
that an online date, like if you meet someone on one of the apps, it should not actually be called a date, like the first time you meet. Because like a date is like you met your wife, like you grew up together, like
Met her in
right?
high school.
In high
yeah.
school, yeah.
A long time ago.
So like let's say you meet someone in person, like tonight, I like meet someone,
Mhm.
and they're like, "Hey, want to go out sometime?" And I'm like, "Cool, that's a date."
Yeah.
When it's a stranger from the internet,
Mm.
and like you're hoping their pictures are what they really look like, you know, you don't know what their voice sounds like. I'm big on
shit.
voice. Like you have no idea.
I didn't even think about that.
So it's kind of like you approach and you're like, all right. And then I feel like if you choose to go out again, that's kind of like the first date. That's my theory. I don't know if anyone else has that theory.
Big on voice.
I am big on voice, yeah.
I am too. I didn't
Right?
realize it.
Yeah. It's an odd thing to say, but yeah, it's,
One thing I realized during the pandemic was I thought that, like, you know, the eyes are the keys to the soul or whatever.
yeah.
But people's smile and the way they talk and how that was covered for 2 years, I was
Right.
like, I don't know people,
Oh my God, you're so right.
right? And like,
Yeah.
I met so many people, like, just like people in the service industry, like my front doorman and, you know, like the front doorman at my office and stuff, talking to them every single day. Didn't really know them, and they took their mask off. I'm like, you got a great set of teeth, my man. I can actually hear you talking now,
I
too.
love your smile.
Yeah,
It's so amazing.
exactly.
I know.
You can
You're
tell
right.
a lot about people.
There's so many people. So I take Pilates, and my the main instructor, the woman who runs the studio,
Yeah.
just took her mask off like 2 weeks ago. I've been going there since December. I finally saw her face. And I was like,
Yeah, right?
oh my God. And now I can see when she smirks before we're about to do like a really difficult thing. And she said the other day, she's like, you didn't know this before when I had a mask on. I'm like,
Yes.
no, but now we know. But yeah, there's a lot of that. Yeah, that's so true. And yeah, you had to. It's interesting because like we had to communicate so differently during the pandemic, like Zoom calls and
Yeah.
and then in person with the mask on. And then here in Chicago, oh my God, I would be like so. You were talking about gloves earlier.
Yeah.
Like if it was really cold out, you had to have like a mask on, a hat, a scarf, gloves. Like I'm like I have my eyeballs are out. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
No, so dating was not why. I mean, I wasn't really dating during the pandemic. I went through
Yeah.
a breakup and then
Right.
needed a minute, which kind of times perfectly with all the restaurants still being closed.
For sure.
But yeah, that was oh my gosh. I mean, let me know if I'm going like crazy, but when I was going on dates, when you still had to wear masks, we'd walk into the restaurant
Oh,
and he would have
God.
the mask on. So then you would sit down and there'd be like the grand reveal. Now you're already sitting down. Grand reveal. Wait. But
Curtains.
But also, do you remember? So in Chicago, you couldn't just go sit at a bar when
Right.
restaurants first opened.
Right.
You had to sit down for a meal. So on online dating
Oh,
strategies,
yeah.
like usually I just want to like grab a drink because then you can like
For sure, no
decide.
food, right? That's one thing I do know, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And unless it's like Bar Sienna is one of my favorite places to go
Yeah,
for a
yeah,
date
yeah.
because like they have the small plates, so you can just be like, hey, do you want to grab like
That's
some
true.
meatballs? Do you want to grab like
Yeah,
if
yeah,
it's
yeah.
going well?
Mhm.
But
Do you have an out too, like a friend that's you gotta call just in case, or
you know, I used to.
at this
Now
point
I
you're
just
like,
say it.
yeah,
Like, I just say it. I'm like,
fuck
hey,
yeah.
you seem like a great person. I'm not feeling the vibe. Let's close out. Like,
Well, are
I
they?
just-
Yeah, that.
I just.
So sugarcoating it a little bit, probably.
So we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Well, I wish the best for you. You
Thank
seem
you.
like a great catch.
Thank you. Do you know any single people?
How old are you?
41.
Dude, you don't look 40.
Well, thank you.
You look like literally 33.
I love how specific you are.
Zoom in.
I'm kidding.
33.
Yeah, I like this very specific age. Yeah, 41. So yeah. I mean, don't be creepy in my DMs, but
Well, I bet the interesting thing is,
You guys all good over here so far?
yeah.
yeah, I think we're good right now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes,
Cool.
sir. That's the service of the Dearborn, ladies and gentlemen.
What's that?
I was talking to the camera.
Oh, yeah. What? Me?
Yeah, you have a little bell here, basically.
Yeah.
That's probably the interesting thing, though. I feel like older women maybe that are single, and correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Do you know a lot of like friends that are single like you too? Like I
So-
feel like there's a lot of older guys that are single, right?
If you know them, by all means,
I
set
don't-
me up.
Well, guys that I wouldn't say I would set you
Oh,
up with.
okay,
You know what I
okay,
mean?
okay,
Like
yeah.
I feel like
That's
you're in the needle in a
therein lies my
haystack.
problem.
Yeah, like there's a lot of fucking hay that's guys, and then you're in the haystack, and it's like.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. The few, like we were talking about a building that I used to live in. Like there were a handful of single people in that building. So
Yeah.
that was nice. Everyone's like in their 30s, 40s, 50s in that
Right.
building. But yeah, it's like I have to like adjust my age range on the apps because like I can't stick within just a few years. Like
You have a
younger,
problem with
older.
younger guys?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
It depends on the person, you know, like where they are in their life, what
Sure.
they've gone through, and that someone could be like 48 and be super immature. They could be like 38 and very mature, you know.
Yeah.
So, and I have friends of all different ages.
Yeah.
So like I'm open to it. I should have a person. Yeah.
It seems to me like you're just living your best life now.
I really am.
Like,
I don't want
seriously.
anyone to mess it up. I am. No, my
humans do that.
influencer life, which was very unexpected. Yeah, I am.
How
I
did that
just
happen? Because
God.
were you on TikTok like putting out content? Have you ever even been a content creator? It's
yeah.
meant to be almost.
I mean, it seems like it. So about 7 years ago, I started a YouTube channel.
Okay.
And oh my gosh, I've changed my name so many times because my name is so common.
Yeah, somebody was like, "Is that the Jen White from the news coming here today?" And I'm like, "Is there?" A
Oh, there
Jen-"
is. Yes. Wait, I work with a Jen White.
Do you?
Yes. And we call her JW2.
Ah, you're J-Dub one
So
though.
I was the first one who was hired. So at first I would change my names. It was like, kitschy and whatever.
Yeah.
So I started YouTube. That was a lot of beauty reviews, how-tos.
Yeah.
I did it for fun. I taught myself how to edit. I didn't know how to edit. I just used iMovie, like very
Sure.
simple.
Yeah.
But that's where I started to learn things. And then it's funny because in January of 2020, I told my now ex-boyfriend, I said, this is the last year I'm going to do this. Like, I've been having fun with it. It's not going anywhere, and it's okay. Like,
Yeah.
I've learned a lot and had fun with it.
Yeah.
And then I started posting on TikTok, like, sporadically. Like, I did one in December of 2019.
Yeah.
And then,
Just like right before it got really
just
popular.
right before.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't even know what to post because I was like, oh, should I post things that I do on my, YouTube channel? But that didn't work. So I started posting things that I bought on Amazon.
Mhm.
And within 2 months, I was at like 20,000 followers.
Wow.
And then I ran out of Amazon things. And I was like, oh my God. So I was like trying to my first videos are like I mentioned 5 products. Then all of a sudden it gets into here's 2 products I love because I was running out.
Yeah.
And we were in the pandemic. So, that's really kind of what we were all ordering
For
at that
sure.
point. And, but then I started kind of finding my own with it. And then I went through a breakup and didn't post for 6 months. I was sitting on 25,000 followers for 6 months, did nothing but that. Wow. People go through breakups, you go through different things in your life. And
You are more important than your followers, right?
yeah, and I also just didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew I didn't want to keep posting about Amazon. And so during quarantine, I would go on my quarantine walks, like a lot of us.
Yeah.
And in the freezing cold.
Of course. Anything to get out.
Yeah, and I love Chicago history. So this was I wasn't doing this kind of stuff on TikTok, but I was taking pictures of things like the wooden alley over on the south end of Lincoln Park, Park itself.
Yeah, of course.
And I listened to a podcast that said that the first ever Crate and Barrel location was where Topo Gigio is in Old Town.
Oh.
And I was like, that's really cool. I just thought that was cool.
I'm taking that. Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
I love that.
Go for it. Yeah, I took it from the guy who started it.
Yeah, of course.
And so then I posted those 2 things on TikTok, and they went crazy. And
Unexpectedly, right?
yeah, and I was just like, well, I think this is cool.
Yeah.
They think it's cool.
Yeah.
I need to find more cool stuff to talk about.
Yes.
So I ended up doing Chicago history, Chicago land history.
Wow.
And then it was becoming just overwhelming because sometimes I would get requests in the comments. It would be so Park Ridge was my first suburb that I did. My parents who've never put out a piece of content in their life and they're in their 60s, why would they, right?
Content is not a word to them, yeah.
But they call me up and they're like, hey, did you know Park Ridge used to be called Pennyville? And I was like, no. And they're like, a restaurant opened called Pennyville Station. And I was like, well, that would be a good TikTok. And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, you're right, it would be. And so I did a little mini history of Park Ridge. And the comments were like, do Des Plaines next, do Naperville next, do this town next.
Yeah.
So then I had all these requests, but then some of these suburbs were not, I couldn't find something that was interesting in the history. I don't mean that in a mean way. It was just like, I was looking for unique things that were like different.
Plain water or?
Yes.
Yes, please. Thank you, my friend. What's your name?
Luis.
Luis. Luis, that's a hell of a pour.
Luis.
I'm Matt.
Nice to meet you, man. Nice to
I'm
meet
Jen.
you. And Jen.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
The staff here once again, yeah.
I mean, you're like a celebrity here.
I kind of am. It's
I used
my
to
greatest
be, but I'm
achievement.
not.
It's my greatest achievement. I have to come here and spend hundreds of dollars a week,
Yeah,
but
right.
it's worth it. I'll take that discount, Greg.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
So
continue.
yeah, so I started doing that, and then restaurants started opening, and I was like, here are my favorite Italian restaurants. Here are my favorite this. So I became a Chicago TikToker through that, and then went up to I think at like 50,000, and then I was like, wait, I'm gonna run out
Damn.
of stuff to say.
Right.
Like I also had Chicago in my handle. I was Chicago Style Icon at the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then I just changed my name to my name. TikTok allows a dot in front of things, so I'm Dot Jen White.
Yeah.
And people are like, why'd you change your name? Like, well, I changed my name to my name. And they're like, oh, yeah, okay. Like,
Wow.
no one, like, no one can see
Crazy,
anything.
yeah.
Like, oh, makes sense.
Right.
And so then I started doing a lot of day in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And then I
And
started.
then what time period is this at? Were you in
This was-
2021 yet?
Yeah, so I would say like late summer 2021 is when
Okay.
I started doing more lifestyle.
So you were able to actually live a life again.
Yeah,
Right.
like I was exactly like,
Right.
and also like the world was coming back, and I was traveling again, and
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I want to be able to incorporate. Like I go to Scottsdale a lot for work for my
Sure.
day job.
Nice.
I was like, I want to be able to post about Scottsdale. I don't want to be like a Chicago TikToker.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, although Chicago and Scottsdale, it's like one and the same. There's so many Chicagoans there. It's
So
crazy.
true.
Yeah. So
They gave up.
Oh my God, it's so like one of my best friends, her and her husband moved there in the middle of the pandemic.
I know. I literally know 3 good friends that moved
Yeah.
to Phoenix, and they were like,
Yeah.
just can't do it here anymore. And I'm like, have fun out there. You'll be missing us.
And they're like, yeah, no, we won't. They send me pictures of them in their pool. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, oh, that's nice.
I'll be there in a week for work.
Yeah,
I'll stay
yeah.
the weekend.
There you
like,
go.
whatever. But
That's awesome.
yeah, so I one big thing is that I start. So if you watch one of my videos, you will see that I say a day in my 40-something life.
Yes, which
So-
I love.
Thank you. So that started with the day of my 40-year-old life because I kept watching these other TikTokers who are great creators here in Chicago.
Yeah.
Saying a day in my 26-year-old life, a day in my 24-year-old life, and I was just like, I mean, I am my age,
Right.
so let me just like tell the internet.
Why not own it?
Yeah. And so I just started saying a day in my 40-year-old life, and people were like, oh my God, I found my side of TikTok. And then I turned
Oh.
41 in June. I'm like, wait, this is like a tongue twister now? Like, what am I going to say? And so a woman that I've connected with in PR, we were chatting about it. She's like, why don't you say a day in your 40-something life? And I'm like, love it.
Yes.
So that's where that all kind of like came from. And so now I'm trying to figure out different ways to, I don't know.
Yeah, you really expanded because when I first met you and then started like looking at everything you did, you had like that McDonald's global headquarters video that went bonkers.
5.9 million views.
5.9 million views.
Like, insane. It's my highest view video by like
That's one of
far.
those things where like you never intentionally make something viral and that's when it happens,
Yeah.
right?
And I remember looking at my phone, I'm like, oh my God. It would refresh, and I'd have like 100 new followers, and I'd have like 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. It was the most insane thing, and I can't wait for it to happen again. And I have multiple McDonald's videos. I am not,
You have a whole playlist. I love them.
yes. So I live near the International McDonald's, which you will soon too. We should do a video there
Yes,
together.
let's
my
do
God.
it.
Oh my God, I love it. So they have international menu items that they rotate out every quarter.
Right.
And so I am like dependent upon McDonald's switching up their menu for new content. So I like can't. Also, I've eaten more McDonald's this year than I have in the last like 15 years.
Yeah.
Simply, Brandon came with me to the last one.
I mean, is it good?
It is. It depends on the item.
That's
really.
true,
Like,
yeah.
there were these waffle fries from China. Oh my God, they need these on
Holy
everyone's menu.
shit, let's
yeah,
go.
I know, but they're not there anymore. Like right now, I think it's like the ghost pepper McChicken, which Brandon had that, and we were both like dying. It was so hot.
Where's that from?
I think it was like South Korea, maybe.
Ghost pepper McChicken?
Yeah, and it was ghost pepper.
That's
I mean,
hot.
we were like, I have the footage. I didn't put much of the footage of him, but I have the whole
it was
thing.
so bad.
Because he was just like, I don't.
This is not fun.
Also, my audience is gonna be like, who is that? Like I don't intro him. It's just like some random guy sitting across from me.
Yeah.
Whatever. But yeah, the McDonald's stuff was seriously. I'm gonna keep it up, but like I can only do it once a quarter. So.
Yeah, that's true.
And when I travel internationally, like I've gone to like Liverpool now for work, and I just like convinced my coworker. I'm like, hey. You cool if we get into McDonald's tonight? I need to shoot a bunch of videos.
You own this shit, Jen.
Yeah.
So you have a day job then too?
I do have a day job, yeah.
I do too.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. Well, you mentioned office, so that kind of made sense. I don't know if it was like your office or...
No, I've been working in logistics for 7 years, and I know there's a ton of content creators out there that have day jobs too.
Yes.
And a lot that don't. How has it been for you to try and balance both of those?
You know, the work from home.
Because it is a job.
It is a job, and I definitely spend. I mean, if you think about like the events and dinners and things that I go to,
For sure.
on top of like the editing, shooting
You
is
edit
like,
your own?
I edit my own videos. I love editing. Like I love it so much.
Well, props to you. I had to outsource that.
Good for you. You need to know what to outsource. I think that's so important.
Absolutely it is.
Like it's so important. Like I need to outsource. I need my website to be like cleaned up, and the learning curve it would take me. Like I just need to pay someone to just like do it. I can upkeep it, but yeah, you need to know what you are good at and what you want to spend your time on.
For sure.
But I love the editing. That's like my favorite part of it. I think.
Oh.
Well, on top of like meeting people in person that follow me.
Are
but,
you doing it on iMovie still, or what?
Yeah, I do iMovie. So I'm like old. I've learned so my like creative
Whatever
friends
works,
are like
okay.
in their 20s, like
Yeah.
or they're like 20, and everyone's on their phones, and I'm like, oh, because I started on YouTube and I started editing on iMovie on my computer.
Of course.
I just can move really quickly, and so that's how I edit. Certain videos I'll record within the TikTok app. The editing's really improved, but I feel like my fingers, like I want things so exact. I want to match things with like the music, and so it's
It looks
easier
so
for me.
simple, doesn't it? But it's a lot.
That's a hard thing is to make it look simple.
Right?
Yeah, totally.
And I was hearing, my buddy was telling me about the TikTok algorithm, how much AI is involved in it, and what is actually seen by the camera. So like, this will be seen, right? It'll be picking up on certain pieces of font, your shirt, your earrings, yes, my buttons, my watch. And it will say, how long are you watching this video, and what are the things that are in that video?
I have no idea.
And he is definitely a trustworthy person
I
on
feel
this
like I
stuff.
need to meet him and talk to him more
Yes,
about all
he's
things.
my videographer, actually.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, he is a genius at all this stuff, and I was just with him yesterday.
Yeah.
And I was asking him about, like, I'm trying to do some more TikTok content. He was like, you got to get on a schedule, and you need to be consistent with it, just like anything else, of course. And I'm like, dude, I've been trying to be consistent with my Instagram for 7 years now.
Instagram's so hard for me. I haven't figured
But isn't
it
that
out.
funny? I'm like,
Yeah.
one thing I always talk about on the podcast is each social media platform actually has its own audience.
It does.
Which seems like, a little crazy because, oh, it's Twitter, oh, it's Facebook, oh, it's Instagram, it's TikTok. It appeals to so many people. But there are people who love Twitter and hate TikTok. There are people that love TikTok and hate Instagram. There are people that worship Facebook, our parents, and won't do anything.
Facebook pages are back though.
They are!
No, it's crazy.
I can't believe it. Facebook is
I
making a
post
comeback.
the pages. Are you in a? Oh, when you move to my neighborhood, you need to join the Facebook groups. There's 2 in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
Because there's a battle. And
A
reading,
battle?
Oh my god. Wait. Oh, you are gonna be so entertained.
Oh, I love
It's
this
so good.
juicy
Like one
shit.
is called True West Loop, one is called Real West Loop.
Oh, God.
And there is one they say is not a girl. It is the drama.
Are you in both?
Of course I'm in both. I've not gotten kicked out. Kicked out? People get kicked out of one of them. Yeah. So I'm not get kicked out.
I'm excited.
It is so juicy. It's so good. It's so good.
It's just like drama at Mary Bartholomew Park.
Yes. Also, side note, Mary Bartholomew Park likes my Insta reels, and I feel like so excited about it.
That's a big win. They have an Instagram?
They have an Instagram. The park has an Instagram.
Who's running that?
I don't know.
City of Chicago?
But
This is
there's-
Chicago moment
There
right
we
now,
go.
too.
Perfect.
Welcome to the Loop.
Yeah, I went to one of the movies in the park, which is at Mary B Park.
Right.
And
Oh, Mary B. I like
Well,
that. Yeah.
some people call Mary B, some are MB. People just shorten it because no one says. Although it's interesting because she was the first female judge in, I don't know if it was Illinois or Chicago, but yeah, it's actually significant. Like what?
Oh.
Yeah, there's a plaque over there, and that used to be an infirmary. I'll show you on Google Street View. You can view what it used
I
to look
can't wait
like.
to tell people that fact when they walk in on my balcony.
Oh. And then I'll show you how to find what it used to look like. So you can go back in time on Google Street View.
Oh shit!
So like
Forgot about
2007,
that, yeah.
and then you can see what it looked like. It was depressing, but yeah. Like,
West Loop has literally changed so much.
Oh my god, it's insane. Yep. It's crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah. I mean, I went to UIC,
Oh yeah?
and so it wasn't actually called West Loop back then
No.
because you just didn't go there.
Yes, they don't.
There was like a restaurant, there was a couple clubs on Lake Street, which was scary AF.
Which are still there.
Oh yeah.
Yes, my friend. Another old fashioned, and can we get the prosciutto and Gruyere croquettes?
Oh, I've
Absolutely.
never had that.
Hey, did you say yes on another drink?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Another old fashioned?
I'm good for now.
Good.
Yeah, thank
Old
you.
fashioned, prosciutto, croquettes. Any allergies when you were about?
No.
Cool.
I'm good.
Right up
Yeah,
for you guys.
thanks.
Thank you.
Are you all done with that one?
Yes, thank you. You're gonna flip over these croquettes.
I'm so excited.
So fired. Don't eat it right away.
What are you
I
gonna do
always
when you don't live right there?
Yeah, that's a deep topic for me actually. So when I moved to Chicago, I came from Indiana, like I said,
Yeah.
and I've always loved the city. My dad was actually born and raised in Queens, New York, and my mom was from Baltimore. But I was born in Los Angeles, but I moved to Indiana when I was very, very young. So I grew up in a very rural city that now is a little bit more modernized. It's called Zionsville, Indiana.
Okay.
And I was like, I gotta see tall buildings every day. I want to be in the heat of it. And I moved right next to the Sears Tower. I call it the Sears
So
Tower.
do I. No,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the only
yeah.
thing you should call it.
Yeah, for sure. That's a fact. And I lived next to it for 2 years, loved it. And then I moved over here on Michigan Ave at an apartment rental building. And then I moved over right next to Jefferson and Fulton Market.
Hey, we used to be like neighbors then. I was
Yeah,
Jefferson
330
and
North,
Lake.
330 North Jefferson.
Okay, so you were, yeah.
Right near the Alta building. It wasn't the Alta building, but that Jewel Alaska.
Yeah.
You go to
Oh,
the
we
Jewel.
were like neighbors.
We were neighbors.
We were neighbors. Money Gun
Who
was
knows
like
the
right
Jewel?
down the street.
Money Gun.
We're going there. So, they have great old fashions.
Yes, they do.
Yes.
Have you ever had their chicken cordon bleu dip?
They have food?
Yeah. If you're drunk enough and you ask, yeah.
Okay.
They hook
no,
it up.
I've not.
Money
Well, and they
Gun's the shit.
expanded too.
Yeah.
Like, when I lived over there,
Well,
it was
because it
just
was
that
Lou's
one.
Kitchen or something, right?
St. Louis Assembly, yeah.
Yeah, and then they just converted the whole thing into Money Gun,
Which is cool.
which is probably the better move.
Yeah, totally.
Because that place gets fucking packed.
No,
That's so cool.
I love it. It's so dark in there.
It's so dark in there.
So
yeah,
dark.
we couldn't do the interview in there.
Like,
yeah.
no, that would not. You would not see us. Like, you would see like the
You'd see
candle.
us.
That's it.
So Jen, tell me about yourself.
You'd be like awkwardly close. Just holding like the light up.
Yeah.
Like, LED lights to our face.
So I actually moved into this building over here, right down the street.
Okay.
I've been living there for 2 years, and it was actually really crazy. As someone who like really loves the Loop, I moved in the day of the George Floyd riots,
Oh.
and that was a really fucking crazy experience.
Yeah.
So my brother helped me move in,
Okay.
and we moved everything in, and he was like, I'm not gonna hang out at my apartment. He was like, let's go back to my place, and I was like, the brotherly thing to do. I'll buy you dinner. Thanks for helping
Yeah,
me
of
move
course.
in.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course, that's what we do.
That's what you do.
That's the expectation. And we're over there, and then we get that alert that everybody else got at like 8:50 p.m. Chicago curfew is in effect 9 p.m. And I looked at Maya, and I was like, I'm a little concerned. This has never happened. I'm getting an alert for a curfew in Chicago.
Yeah, like where, like, yeah.
Right, and it's like
That
9
was-
o'clock, and I'm like, okay, whatever. And there was like a protest going on, but it was peaceful.
You're like right here. This is
Yeah.
where, yeah.
And we were over just on the other side of the bridge. So I'm like, okay, let's just hop on some divvies and get back. Like, Uber's not happening right now, I
Right,
guess.
yeah.
So we get on the divvies, the bridges are up. And I'm
That's
like,
right, they used to put the
holy
bridges up.
shit, the bridges are up? So we're like, okay, we got to get down into the loop where there's no bridges. So I go back all the way to
Like,
this,
all the way.
all the way down to where the old post office is.
Yeah.
Came back up, and I was going up Franklin. And as soon as we get over into it, I'm like, damn, there's something eerie going on. Like, there was nobody, and it was just strange. And then we kept like riding our bikes. This is a true Diddy experience. And this young guy yells at me. He's like, "Don't go that way. People are looting." And I'm like so naive. I'm like, "Looting? Did you
I
just
think it's like
I'm like looting my ass, dude. It's a loot,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And he goes, all right. So we keep going. I literally see a person with a torch, and I'm like,
Oh my god.
oh shit, like this is sketch. And then I see people breaking into T-Mobile and into Walgreens, and I'm going through the loop, and we park our divvies right there.
Oh,
At
like
that
right
station,
here. Yeah.
literally. Because I was like, we gotta get off, because I'm right on State Street
Yeah.
here. And we get off, and I'm like, why aren't there any cops? Like, this is crazy. Like, I'm seeing literally, like,
You saw a torch.
I saw a fucking torch. It was ridiculous. I saw a guy with a gun. I was like, this is awful right now. And then we get over to State Street, and I see all these cops, and they're linked arm to arm. And from the Chicago theater, there was a police car in the middle of the street that had been blown out with fire extinguisher, but it was like lit on fire. And I'm like, hey, I need to get to my apartment. And this cop looks at me, and he just doesn't respond. And I'm like, I need to get to my apartment. Can you let me through? He goes, I don't know what to tell you, man. This is pure chaos. You got to find another way out. And I'm like, okay. So I call my friend who was still living in my old building, and I go there. And all night, we're like so stressed out.
Yeah, of course.
And we're like, I literally had to rip a shot of tequila to cut the fucking edge.
Yeah.
And we hear gunshots all night, like so many other people did. And the next morning, it was actually kind of funny in this moment, looking back now. I was wearing contacts. I got LASIK recently. I would recommend LASIK. But
Hashtag not sponsored.
hashtag not sponsored. But I took my contacts out and I was like, fuck it. I didn't have my glasses. So when we were walking back from the other side of the loop, I had this video, and all I could see was in my phone, so I could see everything. But it was literally my glasses, and everything was broken, alarms going off, and I was like, wow, the loop is not the loop. How are you, my friend?
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
There you go.
Delicious. Thank you.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I just thought to myself, wow, like the city of Chicago has changed. And just like a night. And it was really, I mean, when I look back at it, and I'm only telling this story because it's just a reality check sometimes in life. Like,
Yeah.
not Chicago, but the world.
It was.
And I was like, wow, I'm so naive about everything.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, I was naive.
Well, that could ever happen. Like.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
would be-
And I'm like,
and then
oh, I
happen
live in the
again.
loop. I'm so safe.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I was living in. I didn't have that experience. That would be. But I was living technically River North, but by Cabrini.
Okay.
And I'm so excited to try this.
Unbelievable. I actually know that Chef Aaron put these on the menu on New Year's Eve. And I came here with Maya, and I was like, oh, wow, prosciutto and Gruyere croquettes. Because I studied abroad in Spain, and they have croquettes everywhere. Yeah, they're so good.
Even on the international McDonald's menu item.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was living like technically, I guess, across the street from Marine Green. Like there was like a high rise over there.
Okay.
So my like quarantine walks were to Michigan Avenue and back.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, well, we can't go that way.
No, you literally couldn't get in. Shit was boarded up.
Yeah.
I couldn't, like...
For so long.
It was a weird moment where I was like...
Yeah.
I felt so small and, like, meaningless almost. Like, I had never valued things because I couldn't get food. I was like, I can't... The grocery stores are closed. Like, what the hell do I do? And it just put a lot of things in perspective for me.
Totally.
But what it actually made me do is really appreciate Chicago and how we've built everything. And I know, like, downtown is, like, sometimes looked at as, like, touristy and stuff, but, like, I do believe the Loop has a lot of true Chicagoans and real authentic history and stuff.
Oh,
so.
absolutely. You know what I'm looking forward to is, like, you know, obviously a lot of companies don't require their employees to go into the office anymore, or it's like a smaller percentage. And, like, I've read a lot of things about, like, what will the Loop turn into?
Yeah.
Like, is this going to be, like, so much more residential?
Yeah.
And this is the courthouse, right? Yeah.
Yep.
I did jury duty once. By the way, I love jury duty. Like, my excitement when I got chosen to be on a jury, I had to hold it in. I was literally like, so I texted my mom because she also wants to be on jury duty. I was like, I got it. I am on the jury.
How was it?
7 days. Incredible.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, I was blogging at the time. Like, I didn't talk about it on YouTube, but I wrote like a bunch of like, I don't even know where those are probably not on the internet anymore.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, about like why I love jury duty so much. Oh my god. It's like being in a reality show.
Actually, that is kind of cool.
Because you have characters.
I've always been like raised to think you gotta avoid jury duty.
I know, but I don't think people are. Okay, so it is different. So let's say you are self-employed, or you work in a industry where like you need to be at work, like
Yeah,
that.
that's
Of course,
true.
right? Because like you don't know, you're not gonna be able to get a paycheck, like whatever.
Yeah.
But at the time, I was working like a 9-to-5 corporate job, where if you had jury duty, like that was fine.
You're good.
I mean, I just have to say, it's like one of the main highlights of my life. Like oh God, and of course I made friends on the jury.
Of course.
Some of them like still follow me on Insta.
That's a moment.
Yeah.
You guys share that together.
Oh, it was. But here's the thing about jury duty: you're with these people
Yeah.
all day, every day, and you have breaks come in, you come out, you have lunch, whatever. The only thing you can't talk about is the case.
Right.
But the only thing you have in common is the case.
So you talk about the case.
No, you can't. So I found out other things.
Oh,
I mean, we
see.
would like, we would be like, hey, or we would talk about each other. We'd be like, see that woman falling asleep, or how about that guy in his Bluetooth? You know, like so important. He like can't come out. Or like towards the end of it, we would like give each other looks, like here we go again, because there were some characters in this one. It was medical malpractice for plastic surgery.
Oh, interesting.
And the doctor was not in the wrong. And this woman was just her and her son. I mean, it was so good. It was so good.
Oh.
And then one of the attorneys, he like would set up, and maybe this is a thing, I don't know, because I've never been on jury before, but like he would be drawing on like a tripod sort of thing, you know, like the old school.
Yeah.
He had so many of them, and he'd weave like in and out, and he'd be pointing to them, and like.
Jesus.
And at one point, so this woman had a lot of different plastic surgeries done, and one of them, she had multiple like. I don't know if it was like breast lifts. The word breast like came up so many times. But when he started talking about it, is when a class came into view. It's like the public can come in to view these. So you see these like school kids come in, and he's just yelling like breast and like all these things, and then all of a sudden like 2 minutes later, you see the kids like walk out again. Like, so those are things that we would talk about with my fellow jury people. Yeah, it was so good. We all went for drinks on the last day. Like it was so good. I loved it.
Wow.
I know I'm like maybe the only person, but it was, you know, it wasn't a murder. Like, it's not like I'm looking at that sort of thing.
I'm excited.
You should.
Downtown location.
I mean, they give you lunch, and then sometimes they have like, you know, depending on the season, you're in jury duty. You could have Chris Kindle Mart here.
Yes.
You could have food truck. I forgot they used to have food trucks come here.
Yeah, no, they still do.
I didn't know if so.
Wow.
I don't know. I loved it.
It's an event.
I gotta try this.
Okay, let's do it. Ready?
Oh, we just eat it like this.
I go for it.
We'll just go. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That was really good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Mm.
So good.
I love prosciutto.
I love fried malted cheese.
Who doesn't?
It's really good.
No, I know the menu here.
Oh, I have no doubt. But I bet you know when they're going to change the menu.
I do. It's honestly, it's funny. Maya says that I have to stop talking about the Dearborn sometimes. Even while we're at the Dearborn, I'm talking about the Dearborn. It's just like nobody fucking cares how much you love the Dearborn. I'm like,
You're like, but Jen White does. I'm not her.
like Jen White does. And look how much my friend is enjoying this and this.
So funny. I can't wait for us to hang out. Like, I met you guys like right before the wedding.
Yeah, when was that? I think that was actually...
Or not right before, but it was close.
No. It was because I think that was like one of the weekends that we were like, we have to make sure that we're not doing anything so we can just like chill.
Yeah. And then you meet me, and I'm like, hey.
Yeah, no, we had a great time though. And I'll tell you one thing, like, not living together has been a really interesting thing for us. It's like, distance makes the heart grow fonder type situation. So we're like very excited to be living together. And I feel like so many people are like, oh, you need to live together so you know what each other are like.
You guys have known each other for a while.
I'm like,
yeah.
We know what each other is like.
Yeah. And you've traveled together, and Yeah. That's exciting.
It's gonna be fantastic.
And you're gonna be my neighbor.
Yes.
I mean,
Loop, baby.
what's the best loop?
I cannot wait. And that's what I was trying to say earlier. Is like, I'm ready to say goodbye to the loop.
Yeah. It's time. You know, the loop has changed. It's not as busy as it used to be.
No, and it's funny you brought up like people not coming to work anymore, really.
Yeah.
And that was like the hustle and bustle that I liked a little bit. You know, it's like cool, like leaving work and like seeing, because when I went to New York City for the first time when I was younger, I think it was like 11 or 12.
Yeah.
Even then, I was like, I want to move to a big city.
Yeah.
I've got that feel now. I've had enough homeless men approach me.
Yeah.
I've had enough sirens go past. I've had enough fucking...
You still get a little bit of that
For
in West
sure,
Loop.
yeah.
I mean, we had a attempted kidnapping next door to me.
saw that.
That was the building next to me.
Fuck.
Yeah, 15 minutes before I walked out. So, you gotta still be careful, but yeah.
True.
Yeah.
You gotta be smart.
Yeah, but it just becomes so desolate here at night because there's no one around. I mean, there's the theater, but yeah.
No, that's about it.
You're gonna love West Loop. Oh my god, I'm so excited.
I'm ready for it. I feel like I'm turning a chapter in my life for real. I turned 30 in June, then I got married, and now I'm moving in with my wife, and I'm getting a dog, and I'm like, oh shit.
Wow.
It's like the little details
You're
in
like
life.
a grown up now.
Yeah, like everybody, the whole life you go about like, one day I'll be married, one day I'll live with my wife, one day I'll have a dog. And then you start to do the little details in life, and you're like, oh, yeah, this is really going down.
Yeah, that's exciting. You know, actually, so it kind of ties into my content. So I thought that was going to be my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that it is, that I meet someone, and, you know, I want all of that. I want a dog only if I'm with someone. Because I had a dog once, and I was the sole person to, like, take them out at night and stuff, and I just, like, I already know I don't want them.
Yeah.
But that, I think, is a part of my content that is different than most people. Because I am 41, and I live in a city, and I don't have a husband, and I don't have all the things that we all thought we'd grow up in.
Yeah,
you know,
for
I
sure.
already have all those things. So
Yeah, like you're a Midwest Chicago girl. Like,
yeah.
I mean it's in the best way possible. Like, you're not like the rest, but also at the same time, you fucking own it.
Yeah, I do. I try and, like, honestly, creating content helps me do that even more. Like, I mentioned I went through a breakup. That was almost 2 years ago now, which is kind of wild. But I thought I was on that path.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wasn't. And then I was like, oh my God, what do I do?
Yeah.
And, like, we're in a pandemic and we're coming out of it. But, like,
Weird.
what is my life? And I need, like, I met new friends in the building you're moving into. Like, I just met, like, there's so many great people in that building, and they...
Blessing in disguise, would you say?
Yeah. Oh, 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
Like,
good.
thank God.
Good.
Not that he's a bad guy, we just weren't right for each other.
For sure.
And so I started meeting new friends. My TikTok followers started picking up.
Yeah, because you own who you are.
Yes. And then, you know, as a creator, influencer I think is a funny word. But as a...
You are an influencer,
I know.
though.
I influence people to I don't know what. But...
Be them so.
Yeah. Oh my God, yes. Oh my God. Wait, I'm working on what my, like, brand... I'm working with someone on, like, what my brand promise is. Like, but yeah.
That's
Oh my
why
God, that's it.
I really have a profound amount of respect for you, because you're one of those people on social media that, like, isn't, like, the same person as they are off the camera.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I mean, was that ever hard for you to be like, okay, it's time for me to tell people about my struggles in life. It's time for me to tell people that I'm single and I'm 41, that I'm looking for love and I go on bad dates.
Yeah.
Right? Like, most people don't want to talk about
No,
that.
they don't.
Even to themselves.
You know, it's really funny you say that, because the things that I am afraid to talk about are the videos and content that people most relate to.
It's so relatable, Jen. It really is.
That's really good to hear. Because I mean, here's the thing, that sometimes I'm just, like, in my condo, like, recording content, and then, you know, you don't know, like, who's watching it or... But...
No. But there's a lot of people out there like you that don't have an outlet, that don't know who to talk to.
Yeah.
And I think that's the beauty of social media to me.
Yeah.
There's two sides to every story, and with social media, it's an ever-going conversation.
Yeah.
Because people compare themselves,
Yeah.
right? Like, for me,
Oh, always, yeah.
for me in the music industry, everybody is always getting down on themselves. They have imposter syndrome. How do I make it? How do I make money? Oh, I saw this person doing that. Why isn't that me? And
Same
it's
thing
like,
with
in life in general, is what I've come to realize over the years.
Mhm.
The more you own who you are, the happier you'll be. And in turn, the more people that will follow you because everybody loves people who know who they are.
That's true. That's really true. You know, something that I'm trying to figure out is like, I always think about how can I enhance my content? How can I show a part of my life that I'm not showing?
Yeah.
I mean, there's certain things that are off limits for me, but
Sure.
not many. Just like, you know, very personal, like just whatever. There's a couple things.
Yeah.
But it's hard for me to show a day in my life when I like do nothing for two reasons. One, it's very rare that I'm doing nothing. It's very rare.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm always doing something. But two, what do I say when it's just like me on the couch, like trying to find a show to watch on Netflix? You know, like what do you say?
Yeah.
And so that's when I start to think about, all right, like I will show footage and then I will just talk about something that's on my mind. Like, you know, a video that it was a while ago, but I talked about like friendships ending and like how hard that is. Like that it's similar to a breakup and like someone you talk to every day.
Yeah.
Because I was going through that. So
Yeah.
I try to like relate things into, you know, maybe other people are going through it. Yesterday, I posted a video. So I went to Costco. Last night I did.
Best place ever.
I mean, so one of my friends in your new building, he's like, "Hey, I'm going to Costco. Do you need anything?" I'm like, "Actually, can I come with you?"
Wow, that's such a vibe.
Right? Right? And he's like, "I'm borrowing so and so's car. This is the people I will introduce you to." Like everyone is like super tight. We all have each other's back. So
Yeah.
I was like, can you just like pick me up and like let's go? And he and I had not caught up in a while. It's downpouring, and he had to return stuff at Costco. I'm like, I'll go shop on my own. Like I'm good. I started talking to the camera, like thoughts that go through my head, but I was talking to the camera, and like you'll have to watch it. It's one of my longer videos, but I'm testing different things out.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
You know, is it B-roll footage with a voiceover, or is it me just like talking to the camera?
Yep.
And someone commented today, she's like, it was literally like watching myself go through Costco. Thank you so much. And I was like, yes, I'm not alone. So now I'm like, okay, how do I find those moments?
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And so like they're there, but like they're not always like obvious to you of like what you can, I don't know, put on a TikTok.
It's very relatable content that you're creating. And
No.
what advice would you give to someone that is maybe like you in the sense that they want to put themselves out there, but maybe they're a little bit afraid?
Know your boundaries. Like I know what I want most about.
Okay.
But also just start.
Yeah.
The hardest thing is to just start.
Yeah.
And you have to be willing. There's a lot of things that people tell you and then you don't realize until you're in it and I'm sure you see it with like your podcast, is like people are going to be mean. People are going to leave mean comments.
Absolutely.
And it says everything about them, not you. And like you can, but some of them still sting. But you have to be ready. If you're going to put your life out there, you got it, all of it. You have to take the compliments, you have to take the hate comments, like, and you just have to focus on, like, listen to the comments to guide you with your, like, evolution of content, but don't let it, that's going to be a huge part. Like, it's a huge part of being on social.
Yeah.
But as far as content creation, oh gosh, this is a really big piece of advice and something I've learned. Like, you may think, like, I'm going to do, I'll use me as an example.
Yeah.
I'm doing TikToks about Amazon hauls, and then I'm going to do Sephora hauls, and I'm going to show everyone everything I buy. And then you get a comment that's like sort of unrelated, and they're like, hey, like, where are your curtains from? And you're like, oh, yeah, like, I'll do that. And then people are like, oh, you live in Chicago? Like, what's it like to live in the city? And so use the comments to, like, help evolve your content.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to have everything figured out. You have to know, like, you have to be consistent, like you were talking about. Like, you got to post it at least once a day. Probably. Actually, definitely.
TikTok is best.
Yes. Because, but what's so cool about TikTok is my 9th video went viral. So,
holy shit.
You could have, your first video could go viral and people will follow you. It's not a, I feel like Instagram's more of like a judgment zone than TikTok.
Yeah.
And your feed has to look pretty. Like I gave up on that a long time ago.
Yeah.
But with TikTok, they're like, "Oh, I love your video. Okay, like I'll follow you, but like I want to see you come up with more great content." And you just have to I think a lot of people go into it like this. These are the only things I want to post about, and that's okay. But if your audience doesn't like it, then you're not going to grow.
Yeah.
And you have to be willing to change. Like I've had very distinct, different lives within my content creation on TikTok in just not even 2 years. 2 years.
It's insane.
Yeah. And I'm going to keep evolving, you know? And when I meet someone and I'm in a relationship, I don't know if I would be a relationship creator. I don't want to be a dating person because...
No. Well, that's like a profession almost, right?
Yeah. And there's one girl I follow, she lives in New York, and she talks about her dates, and she gives great advice, and love that for her. Love her content. It's just not what I want to be. I will mention, and then I went on a date, we're not going to talk about that. I will put that in the voiceover, and then people are like, wait, did you say you went on a date? And it's like, yeah. But I also said we're not talking about it. So.
You do need to listen to your followers. I agree with you there for a long time. I mean, I'm someone who, had a lot of trouble actually putting myself on camera and hearing my voice.
Hard. Oh my God.
It's a lot.
And you don't even edit yourself.
No, I did.
Okay,
for
so
a
then
long
you learned.
time.
Yes.
I learned.
Okay.
Then I learned that, you know what? I am happy with who I am.
Yep.
And it's okay to do this because we are the smaller percentage of people. But the larger percent of people, they want to know what it's like. They want to know how to connect with you because this digital world that we live in person communication and contact, it's a thing of the past, right?
It is. It's.
So that's why I love your content.
Thank you.
Because
it means so much because it's
we're on these nice fucking cameras right now, and that's
They're
one
really
thing. But it's you literally on your phone.
Yeah.
Editing it, it's Jen walking through the West Loop, Jen going wherever you're going, talking about the food that
Or
you
even
like.
when he walked up to me here, I was talking to the
it.
camera, and I'm like, oh, he gets it. And you also have to get over that too.
Yes, you do.
Walking around with the camera.
Oh my God.
I started when I was doing YouTube. There's this thing called Vlogmas. Oh.
I've never heard of that.
Oh. Well, you will see it. I vlog every day anyway. But I forgot the YouTuber. I don't think she YouTubes. She does it anymore. But it was vlogging every day in December. And so I did Vlogmas. I had never done vlogs before, and I did Vlogmas.
Okay.
And my very few followers on YouTube were like, "We love this. Can you keep up with the vlogs beyond Christmas time?" And so I had started to practice, especially during what's really cool. So gosh, it's funny how this all ties in. Leading up to quarantine and lockdown life, I was vlogging through that. So I can go back to my page and you hear my thoughts on things.
Oh, wow.
Because it was just long form, 5, 10, 15-minute videos, which are a pain to edit. And I was just talking about, hey, I don't know, there's this COVID thing. Did you see the evolution of it?
Yes.
Through the content, but that's what I was blogging a ton.
Mm-hmm.
And then I waited a while to do that on TikTok because I didn't know what it looked like.
Yeah.
It just looks
Have you done with your...
Yes, sir.
We are, yeah.
So good.
Thank you very much.
Have you had those before?
Yes.
Every day.
Delicious. Not every day. Not every day.
Never would if I worked here.
Delicious.
Thank you, my friend.
We have excellent chef here.
Chef Aaron.
So, yes. It's a very good combination of testing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's great. Everything is fantastic.
Yeah, amazing. That's why we're doing it here.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
So enjoy the next food.
We will.
You know what's so crazy about this place is how well they treat their employees by how happy they are.
I can't wait to ask Greg about it.
It's and I don't think it's because we have cameras here.
No, they're always
I know, because I've been here.
Yeah.
I haven't done the brunch and dinner thing like you, but I used to work right here, so lunches. and we took long lunches. Like we were not at the time. It was the previous job. We did not like our jobs, and so long lunches at the Dearborn were just like the best
Long
thing ever.
lunches at the Dearborn.
Yeah, long lunches at the Dearborn. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like we were talking about content creation, and I kind of lost track of like what the main question was.
I think to summarize it all,
Yeah.
what's so great about you and your brand is that it is truly you, and that's what I've had to actually kind of own. And for a long time, like I thought I wanted to be this person or that person because I was trying to pose as somebody else.
Yeah.
And the second that I said that's exhausting, that's not me,
Exhausting. Yeah.
is the second that I really came into my own sort of, you know.
Yeah.
And I think there's so many people out there that like we'd love to hear from that we may never know. The parallel that I always draw is I have a friend, he's my oldest friend, and he is the most talented piano player, I would literally say, in the face of the earth. Like, he was just born with his gift, right? His dad was a piano player, and he literally played piano at my wedding for, like, my wife walking down the aisle.
Oh my God, amazing.
But he's a lawyer.
Huh. Yeah.
Right? And he's a great lawyer.
Yeah.
And he's good at that, but also to like, if everybody followed their true creative path or whatever really makes them happy, and that's just not how the world works, unfortunately. But that's when I realized I was like, I can have this job and I can still put myself out there, and I'm unfortunately gonna have to work twice as hard, but that fills me up.
Yes. Oh, 100%.
Right?
And that
It's worth
doesn't
it.
mean you have to produce music, that you have to put yourself out there on social. I think that everyone needs a hobby.
Yes.
And that's what this is
That's
for me
not
right
TV
now.
shows or movies or drinking.
Correct. Like it's funny you mentioned the piano.
That's so Chicago,
I want to
yeah.
take, I know, right?
Yeah.
Because that's all we do
That's
here.
right, yeah.
It's all you can do. There's like no outdoor activities. You can walk or run the lakefront.
Plenty of bars.
Bars and restaurants. That's it. That's all you got. But I do think that whatever that hobby is, and whatever that is that makes you happy, if it's in playing an instrument, if it's editing videos, if it's whatever, you need a hobby.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I've learned the most through that is, at first it was a hobby. Now it's a hobby that is generating some income.
Yes.
And that's really cool. And you're right, you do have to work twice as hard. But I think that I have a great day job. I love where I work. I love the people that I work with. It's a great product. Like, love it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I would love it as much if I didn't have my hobby. Because it balances.
I feel you.
get the creativity and I get that, all of that with my side hustle / hobby.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't get in my day job, and I don't expect my day job to do that for me.
Yeah, right.
And so, yeah, and sometimes the skills blend together. Like, it's really kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm putting videos together, I train salespeople. I work in revenue enablement. So,
Okay.
I, like, we're doing this whole, like, tale of the sale, where we, like, highlight a deal and, like, the steps that it went through. So I interview the sales team that went through it, and then I edit the video. And then I share it with everyone. So I get to like kind of blend a little bit.
Yeah.
Which is fun. It's not a regular thing, but it's, enough where I get to do that. So
A little bit of a crossover.
Yeah, a little bit of a crossover. Enough.
Yes, I know. And
Yeah.
that's the thing too, with my job, I'm a salesman as well. And that's why I talk so much. I talk so goddamn much.
I mean, this is going to be the longest podcast you've had. You're going to
No,
have to
what are we at?
trim
What's-
it down.
106, we're right on time,
Oh
baby.
my God.
Just checking in real quick. Jen, would you like another drink?
I would.
All right, well, same thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
3 deep, let's fucking do it, yeah.
Third time's the charm.
Third time's the charm, yeah.
Do another round of those. Do you want anything else in the moment? Finish with that one.
What other, I'm just feeling appetizers tonight.
I'm fine with that.
Got the croquettes already. Octopus is phenomenal. The poutine.
Really?
That's one where I first started here. I was like, oh, another poutine. It's gonna be like a heavy dish, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
It's so good. The carnitas is so like nice and flavorful and meaty. And one of the biggest differences instead of that brown gravy, that Japanese curry in its place just adds a whole nother element of flavor and like
I'm interested.
it's one of those where like I'm not usually like a big like let me get a big bowl of fries type thing, but like
Unless you're in Canada.
I had those and I was like, damn, those are real good. I was like, those are real tasty. Those are good. I love all of our seafood here. The Scotch egg is great as well. Ceviche is awesome. It's a little departure from like a traditional.
I picked the last one, Jen. You picked this one.
All right, I need a second.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean,
let me get the booze for you, and then help those creative juices go for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
oh my god, it's so tough. I'm sort of a seafood person. Like I would do ceviche,
Whatever you want.
but
I'd be a great date, right?
yeah, right? Let's hope tomorrow. Oh my god. Very low. You have to go with low expectations on online dating.
Yeah. I
Um,
never had to do the online dating, actually.
you're so lucky. Did you say you wanted a pasta? We could also spell pasta.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That 4 cheese.
I would do the 4 cheese.
marinati, yep.
Let's do it.
All right.
Done. Love it. Okay.
Let's split it.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway.
Okay.
To summarize.
Yeah. Summary.
To summarize. It's actually a little difficult to podcast where all the waiters are involved, isn't it? I love it. They're all
So
like
many
involved.
different.
Yeah.
It's like a commercial break.
It
and
is a
it's
commercial
not, though.
break, and I'm like, wait, what were we talking about?
Wait, hold on. Yeah.
To summarize everything, one of the main reasons I wanted to have you on the podcast today is because I believe that there are so many other people out there like you who have a story to tell, because we're all human now. And that's what I realized over the past couple of years is like, there's no, like, the visions in the world are crazy to me. Like when I was on my honeymoon in Greece, people from all over the world there, right?
Yeah.
And I'm seeing all these adults interact and all that stuff. But what made me really like kids interacting with their brothers and sisters and with their parents. Every kid annoys their parent. Every kid annoys their older brother or older sister. They're speaking different languages from all different parts of the world. And to me, that like is a resemblance of you, because there are so many people out there in the world that aren't just in Chicago that are a single 40-something. And I think that you have a great story to tell and are still telling.
Thank you. That means so much.
Yeah.
Because it is a lot to put yourself out there, and so
Totally.
it means a lot.
I know that. I know that. I really do.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah, and especially as a woman too. Like I know, like I can't relate obviously, but you guys have a different experience in this world and putting yourself out there.
Yeah. It's like almost like therapy too, to like put yourself out there.
Yeah,
it's really
you're
cool.
facing reality no matter what.
Yeah, you're just like, here you go. Like, it's me. And yeah, so it's fun. I love it. I love doing it. So
That's great.
I'm gonna keep putting the content out there. Yeah.
How much do your fans love you though? I feel like you probably get DMs all the time.
Yeah, I love that you're acting like I'm like at like million followers. But
Well, even one person that reaches out.
I do meet people in person almost. If I'm like, this is a little different because like the area we're in, but like if I go out to a bar, like I'm gonna meet a follower.
That's awesome.
It's so cool. It does not get old. I was at Wrigley. I went to the Lumineers.
Nice.
And I was in the bathroom washing my hands, and this girl was like, cute dress, and I'm like, thanks. And then she's like, also, I follow you on TikTok, and I love your content. And I was like, oh my god, I'm more excited than they are. Like, I'm literally like, this is the coolest thing ever. And then what's really amazing, I went to the bathroom twice while I was at the concert. Both times I met followers in the bathroom. Wild. And both of them said to me, thank you for putting out the content that you do. Like, one of them said, I'm single and 30, and sometimes I get like sad about like where I'm at in life, and I haven't met anyone, and then I like watch your videos, and it's like, oh, I can have a life that is fun and fulfilled, and and I was like, thank you. That's what I like. That is like doing it too, Like,
Make an impact on even one person.
Yeah.
Then that's a life worth living.
Yeah. And so when I meet people and they tell me that, it's because I had such like a tight Chicago audience from like the evolution of my content with Chicago history and that.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I'm out, it's almost guaranteed. My friends like laugh at me now. They're just like, they just call me TikTok. Like,
Yeah.
it's funny. Yeah.
You're famous.
Yeah, on a very micro level in Chicago. But
I
yeah.
mean, to be recognized in the bathroom, fuck.
Oh my God. It was, I'm starting to understand the look that people give me. Like, they give me a look, and then they're like, and I just am like, hi. And
How do
they're
I know
like-
you yet?
They're like, you're Jen White. And I was like, I am. And they're like, hi. And I'm like, what's up?
They wouldn't say that they didn't like you.
I know, right? Yeah, there's definitely people who don't.
That's a crazy thing.
It's really crazy, and it is so fulfilling when people say something. So I always tell my followers, like, say hi to me if you see me in person.
Yes.
Like,
I do that too.
I'm the same person, like, and you're the same person, like.
I just go out in the crowd. I literally go out in the
God.
crowd, like.
That's gonna be the coolest thing.
Oh,
Have
it's
that
crazy.
crowd. Oh my God.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Literally, I'm out like I'm throwing out shirts, hats. I'm
Oh.
taking Chicago handshakes with people. Yeah, look
I
at
love
that.
it. It's cute.
That looks good on you.
Thanks. That was my whole look.
People will know you in the West Loop. They'll be like, "Are you Jen White or are you a Sherm fan?"
I am both. I'm very excited. Thank you for this.
That's why I fuck with Chicago so hard though, because it's diehard people here.
Die hard. Oh yeah. And it's
I love the
interesting,
culture.
the Chicago creator community, at least I meet some Instagrammers. I do meet quite a few Instagrammers, but the Chicago TikTok creators,
Yeah.
we all started getting invited to events like last March or April. So we see each other at events.
Nice.
Know each other, and yeah, it's fun and we're super tight. It's
There's a
cool.
whole community there, right?
It really is, yeah.
It's just like that in the DJ world. There's like a certain echelon of people that like we all want to collaborate and help each other.
Yeah.
And I sense that a lot, and it's gone way beyond just the music industry from my vision. Like the fact that you and I are here
Yeah.
able to connect
Yeah.
is something totally brand new, and which is why it's like so exciting to be alive right now.
Yes,
it's
I
like
love
we
it.
can literally do anything we fucking want.
Yeah. It's so funny. So Brandon, our mutual friend,
Yeah.
when I walked into Bar Sienna, I was just like, hey, what's up? Like talking to him while I'm like waiting for my friend Terry to come, and he's like, oh, you should meet my friend Matt. And I was like, all right, cool. He's like, actually, I think you two would. Well, we were talking instantly. And then he comes out and he's like, yeah, I kind of knew that you guys had things in common. And
Yep.
like, just like nonstop. Like, it was like, I think it took like seconds. Like,
That's the energy.
that's what I love.
That's
It's so
the
great.
energy.
But that's also Chicago too.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, I've never lived anywhere else. I can't really say, but there is that vibe.
This is my home.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really my home.
Yeah.
I love this city so much.
And we're gonna be neighbors. So excited. So excited.
Say thank you to the camera, Jen.
Thank you.
Man, do I love Sherm in the booth. Oh, hey, I think you do too. Hope you enjoyed that piece of content. If you're looking for more, make sure to my YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any upcoming Sherm in the Booth interviews, live sets, new music, exclusive artist interviews, Sherm's Word, sub-pack reviews, and more. This is your one-stop shop for everything entertainment. Cheers.